Hey guys, happy Wednesday. To keep up with our spring theme this week, today we are going to be drawing a sunflower, one of my favorite flowers. I love sunflowers. When I was little, my grandpa would grow these, like hundreds of them, so he could sell the seeds. And he actually gave me a seed once, and I planted it in our front yard, and it grew super big. Here's a picture of it. As you can see, I was extremely proud of that sunflower. The flower part is not on it yet, but it came after. It looked really cool. But I love sunflowers. They are huge, massive plants. They take so long to grow over the summer and spring. And when they finally open up, they look so cool. But half the time I try to grow them, squirrels eat them, so I've stopped trying to grow them for a while because it's too sad when they get eaten up. But we'll just draw a really pretty sunflower instead of trying to grow one. Now for this one, I do recommend coloring with crayons today because it is kind of nice if you have more than one type of brown and more than one type of yellow to color in with. But really, if all you have are markers or color pencil, that's fine too. And you need a piece of paper. Probably don't need a pencil to start with, but go ahead, get your stuff, and let's get started. Alright guys, so you can go ahead and get started with a marker right away, or a pencil if you prefer. We are going to start with the center of our sunflowers. The reason that the center on this flower looks kind of like bumpy is because sunflowers are full of seeds. That whole big center is just tons and tons of seeds. So we're going to make it look bumpy. We'll start with the smaller center first. Now, making sure you don't draw this too high or else you don't have room for petals. So maybe start in the middle and move just a little ways up. So middle of the paper up a little ways. I'm gonna make this bumpy line that is in the shape of a circle, but bumpy. If you are starting with pencil first, you could just draw a regular circle first and then add the bumpies around it. That's a good way to do that too if this is hard. Otherwise, just do it the way I did. After you draw your smaller circle, you're going to go out a little ways and you are going to make a larger bumpy circle around the first one that you did. There we go. It's a little uneven here, but that's fine because you know what? It's a bunch of seeds, so that's just how they look. To make it look more like there's texture in it, meaning it's not totally smooth, we're going to add some little bumpy lines inside the centers. So like one or two little bumps on the one in the middle. I'm going to make them really small, maybe just do a few little dots too. And there we go. Now we are going to work on the petals. You might notice how I have some that are in front and some that are behind. We are going to work with the ones in front first, the ones that I colored in yellow. I like to start at the top, and I do 2 curved lines. So notice how it starts here, but it curves in. The other side is going to do the same thing, but the opposite direction. So curve in until they touch. Every single petal you do is 2 curved lines, and what's important is trying to make sure that the petals all point a little bit different direction. Think of it kind of like if you look at a clock, an analog clock that has the hands on it. When the hand moves around the clock, it points different directions. So each petal should point a different way. Now, before I finish, I'm going to show you a different way to draw the petals if this is tricky for you. So I'll leave these empty. We're going to add this little line on the inside of your petals to make them look a little more three-dimensional. The way you do it is you go in the middle of each petal and just draw a little line. If drawing the petals the way that I showed you was kind of hard for you, doing the 2 curved lines, you could kind of do them backwards from what I just showed. So you can start with your straight line and just do a curved line and a curved line that meet up with that straight line, okay? So if you're struggling with drawing the 2 curved lines, draw your straight line first and then have your two curved lines meet up with it. So that's a different way to do it. Otherwise, if you followed with me and you did your petals the way I did the first time, now you're gonna go in and draw a little straight line inside each one. Usually I don't connect all the way to the top. On these I did because I drew them that different way. It's totally up to you. Now we're gonna draw those petals that are behind the ones that are in front, because sunflowers have tons and tons of petals. So in each empty space between each petal, you are going to draw two curved lines. So it's pretty much the same thing, but I think these are a teeny bit easier just because they're smaller and you just have to draw them to fit inside the empty spaces. And then draw those straight lines. They kind of come right out where the two front petals meet. You just draw that straight line coming right out from that spot where the front ones are meeting. And just go all the way around. Okay, we already got done with our flower, guys. This one's actually pretty quick and pretty simple, but it's really pretty, I think. Now we're gonna make that long stem. So you are going to make two straight lines. And on my example here, I just have the stem kind of just stopping. You could also draw grass or a garden around yours if you want to. I'm gonna make mine like the original though, and I'm just gonna make a little line there. And then I'm going to draw two lines to make these little stems. So 1, 2, and 1, 2. For my leaf is kind of shaped like a petal, except it meets at both ends. On this side, it's big on one end and pointy at the other. On the leaf, it's pointy on both sides. So curved line like a frowny mouth, and then another curved line like a happy mouth, and there they meet. And a frowny mouth and a happy mouth, and there they meet. Now we just gotta add our veins in our leaf. So going straight up the middle and all the way to the end, straight line, straight up the middle, all the way to the end, straight line. And then you just add these little curved lines and you have your veins. And guys, that is it today. That was actually a really quick video. Now, when you color it in, the reason I recommend you use crayons is because it is kind of nice if you can, oh, sorry, I lost my yellow crayon, there we go. It is kind of nice if you can have like two different types of yellow to do your petals and two different types of brown for the centers, but you can really color it any way you want. I'm gonna start by coloring all my front petals a light yellow, and then the other one's kind of a darker orangey yellow, and then two different browns for the center. But you guys color it however you want and just have fun coloring in your sunflowers. Alright guys, I hope you had fun making your sunflower with me. This is a pretty simple one today and it was a lot of fun. And you can use a lot of the steps that we did to make different types of flowers that are similar shapes. Like you could just make the center more smooth and it could be like a daisy or other flowers like that. But I hope you had fun making your sunflower with me. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another spring themed drawing video.